It's Astrology Roast. I think it needs to sound like a shitty intro, like a funny shitty intro.
Hi everyone and welcome back to Astrology Roast. As many of you know, my name is Karen.
My name is Itai.
And my name is Lauren.
Whoa, okay. Well, I was going to introduce you, Lauren. It's already gone rogue. So for those out there who've heard me and Itai refer to our Leo friend, I've also referred to you as a D-grade celebrity, my business associate, my arch nemesis, all these things.
Why?
Just like every other Leo, you just have so many titles.
Yeah.
Why am I your arch nemesis?
Okay.
You're not.
You're not. But it's really lovely to have you on the show today, Lauren. Can you tell the listeners out there what makes you a Leo, or do you even identify with being a Leo?
I do identify with being a Leo, but ever since you guys have started this podcast, I feel very offended by my title as a Leo, because I find that generally it means that I just want to be in the spotlight and that it's all about me. And I honestly try to live my life with a lot of integrity. And I think that the way that I channel being a Leo is that I like to be a leader, and I'm happy to take on that role. Sometimes I also like to shy away at other times.
Like when you introduced yourself at the beginning.
But I was being funny because I knew that you would expect me to do that, you see?
Yeah, but still, it's just amazing to see how Leos, at the end of the day, they will still choose to be the center of the thing, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I think it's great.
So should I be quiet?
No.
You're the guest. We're excited to have you, and we can't wait Oh my God. Okay, so we have Lauren here, which is obviously an amazing experience, I'm sure for you as well as for us. We brought you because you have many stories about any topic in our lives. My favorite is every time that someone that didn't hear your story, that, like, let's say one of your famous stories about going to Weight Watchers, and then, which is a relatively new story. And then every time you realize that someone didn't hear it yet, you just like, you get into position of like, I'm going to tell you my story. You're like, your back is straight and you just like you're ready for war or for whatever you're going to do. And then you just go for the story. And every time people laugh at the exact same time, and you just know your beats. And I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
But, my original point was that we brought you in because we want you to talk about something that we think you have a little bit more insight than the regular person. Mm-hmm. And that is family. Why would we think that you have more insight in that topic than others?
Because my family is certifiably insane. And you could make a sitcom, right, from my family. There are just some interesting dynamics that go on. So we'll start with my eldest brother. He loves to swear, watch the footy in his nightgown.
And he's a Sagittarius.
He's a Sagittarius. I love him to bits.
He is very funny in his defense.
Remember how he feels about fat people?
Oh, he doesn't love us.
He doesn't like fat people at all. By the way, I've always struggled with a bit of a weight issue, which the Leo in me turned into, I like to post a lot. I have an Instagram called Miss Inside and Out, not Little Miss Inside and Out. And I write posts about body image and my experience with being overweight, but loving the skin I'm in.
But your brother Paul didn't really like...
Adam.
Your brother Adam didn't really like the fact that you give people the chance to accept their body.
Yeah, the right to be fat fucks, as he says. Yeah.
So you post a poem about loving your own body, and your brother yells at you, why are you giving these people the false hope that they're allowed to love themselves?
Absolutely. And my other brother, who's a personal trainer and is very supportive, he is very supportive of this body love stuff, but really he's just working out in the gym all day trying to make people skinny.
That's nice.
Perfect Virgo. So I think it's good to have a Virgo trainer. As everyone knows, my Pilates teacher and your Pilates teacher, Karen, is a Virgo, and they put the standards high, and that's good. But we're going to talk a little bit about siblings. And for those of you that want to check your chart in order to learn more about your siblings, you guys should go to your third house So your third house is ruled by Mercury, and Mercury is obviously the house of communication, or little communications, as you can also call them, siblings. If you heard some noise, it's Lauren reaching out for her tea, because this podcast is less important than her need to sip tea because she is a Leo.
Okay, no, but hang on a second. She's also holding a giant ice pack on her head because some planks of wood just fell on her head, and she has still agreed to come on the podcast.
I know.
So as a Leo, as a leader, as someone that commits to her passions, but also commits to what is important to her, which at that moment was getting her cup of tea. But she's really coming through with the goods
that's
today.
What sort of host does not offer their guest a cup of tea on their show?
No, you should have your tea. I just don't compromise the sound. I just want to say that also we all often roast Leos, but one thing that Leos are known for is their hard work and their dedication. So that is a...
Yeah, and Loz, do you want to maybe tell the listeners, about your small business, and you teach and you sing and you perform and you do a million things?
Yeah, sure. I am a teacher. I'm a substitute teacher because I don't like anyone to hold me back, hold me down. So not too much commitment, but I love that. And I actually think it's probably the Leo in me that allows me to go into a new space every day and be comfortable with that. There are many people that would really freak out. I have a backpack brand, vegan leather, called Kapara Designs.
We'll give you a link.
Yay. And it was just something I decided to give a go. And I also think that an interesting part of being a Leo is, and maybe it's just me, but my relationships in my life are very important to me, and upholding them. And maybe I know it's very indicative. No, is that the right word? Very characteristic of a Leo to want to be loved, right? And to love. And I really love a lot. And I also love to be loved in return. And I get very hurt when I am not loving to my fullest abilities and I'm not receiving love in the biggest and best way that I can. And I think most of my energy probably goes into my relationships in my life. And it's really not just to be loved and receive love back, but there's nothing more important to me, really.
I think the beautiful part about you, and to give example of what you just said, is that when you say I want to be loved and loved, you're not talking about your close friends and family. You're also talking about the eye doctor, the glasses shop, the person that...
Carnegie, what's it called?
Identity
Best eyewear store you'll ever go to.
So even if Lauren goes to get glasses,
that I don't need.
That you don't need, you have a relationship with the person that works in the store where you buy your glasses.
Absolutely. Is that not normal?
I don't know.
It's just they're deep relationships, and then there's always these comical stories that come from, the identity woman.
She gave me the greatest line of my life.
And what did she tell you?
She was referring to my sex life and how my partner should treat me at the beginning of a sexual experience. And she said, you can't start the car without getting the motor running. And the motor is here, and I'm pointing to my head, and here, and the heart. And every time my partner just tries to, subtly poke in the middle of the night, in the best kind of way, not in a bad way, I just whisper in his ear, you can't start the car without getting the motor running.
Oh my God.
I think people also feel very...
Either our listenership just stopped or doubled and tripled.
I think if you're not listening to this and taking this and applying it to your
notes.
relationship, you're making a huge mistake.
She was right. She's right.
But it's true. You make everyone feel comfortable to approach you and to also include you in their narrative. For example, a few weeks ago when you went to Weight Watchers, you want to tell us what happened there?
Well, first of all, you should all know that I really do stand for body love and body positivity. And I don't think that, I think that the desire to lose weight is inseparable from that if you really need to. And I feel I need to lose some weight at the moment. So I decided Weight Watchers.
I'm sorry to cut you off.
Yes, please.
But also, yes, you do love body love. Even to the extent when I brought you into my school to talk about body love and the kids accused you for promoting obesity.
Yes, I remember that very well. Yes, wow. Yes. And what did I say?
What did you say?
What did I say? I just said, I don't think you were actually listening to what I was saying. I was just saying that any change or self-love, any change you would like to make comes from self-love.
Yeah.
And that's where it needs to start.
But not everyone has that innate self-love as the Leo has. A lot of people are very critical about themselves or others, like Virgos, Aries, which never feels like they're achieving what their goals. Well, Taurus love themselves a lot, but not everyone has that like innate self-love. So maybe you need to remember that as well.
Sure. But I'm going to say something. I think that Leos have a different challenge with self-love. And I think that it is that desire to be loved. And sometimes I can feel, and like, I'm going there.
Do it.
Like a total failure because I really want to be that person for everyone and there's no way I can. And so I always feel like I'm letting someone down. I wake up at the moment with a list of people in my head that I need to call, that I've let down, that I want to inquire into their lives and see if they're okay. It's not an easy feat being a Leo.
Would you say that your family members kind of are supportive of that, or they will remind you if you're letting everyone down?
My family members would like to suck every vessel and morsel of my life force out of me. And
Is there anyone in specific?
You mean my mother?
No.
You're who?
My mother's also doing Weight Watchers.
Your Cancerian mother.
By the way, yeah.
No, she's a Gemini. Didn't we establish that she's a Gemini?
She's a Cancerian. Wait, what's her... Was she Cusby? Wait, let me check.
She's cuspy. Anyway, my mum is also clinically, it was declared today by my therapist, a hoarder. So
Guys, she's a Cancerian, 21st of June. And also, do we even need a date? She's the epitome of Cancerians.
every phone call starts like this, hi, loves, with like a depressive voice. And then it ends with, and when will I see you again? And I would have just seen her the day before, and I'm probably going to see her the day after, and she's going to call me at least 3 more times that day. And sometimes, and I'm not joking, the other day when she said, if I have a baby, well, she said, when you have a baby, and I was thinking, if I have a baby one day, she goes, I don't know how I'll handle my nerves. And then I just said, and I'll be leaving the country to have a baby.
You know what? It's probably a smart thing to do, but also the worst thing you can do to a Cancerian mom.
Yeah.
She's so full of love.
She loves you. She ends every conversation with, when will I see you again?
She
You
calls
live in
you
the
at
same
3
city.
o'clock on the dot when you finish work.
She bought you a rape
3:30,
whistle. She bought you a...
She bought me and my sister-in-laws all a rape alarm just in case it's an alarm that's a key ring. But you've both told me on numerous occasions that I've done pretty well just to get away with an anxiety disorder being raised by my mum.
I loved running into your mum at the cafe not too long ago, and she looked at me after 4 seconds of saying hi and goes, you don't want to be alone, do you, Kez? You don't want to end up alone. I was like, what? What's happening here?
But
She's also tried to set me up with the only other gay guy that she knows.
because he's a gay.
Yeah, we both are gays.
She refers.
And she's a Cancerian. She needs to bring people together. She flourishes when other people create a nest.
So speaking of nest, I should let the listeners know that before her first grandchild was born, she started to build a children's room in her house, which has actually become a hoarder's room. I'm not joking. There are probably 4,000 items in there from up shops all over Victoria. You can't walk into the room because there are scary dolls with googly eyes everywhere. And she says, educational games, about 400 educational games. At the moment she's...
what a special child it's going to be.
Well, we spoke. I'm just going to link us back in for a second about today's topic. So we're talking about family. We're already 15 minutes in, but I think it's worth, giving.
Already a lifetime in.
Well, lifetime in. But it is, sometimes you have difficult relationship either with your parents or with your siblings, and it is worth looking into your chart, even the sun sign, like even if you're a Leo and your mom is a Cancerian and your dad is an Aries, clearly you're very connected to your dad through the fire element, and there is a clash, the water of your mom and the fire in you and your dad. there must be something there. So I think, well, whether you're listening to it